A lion used to prowl about in a field in which 4 oxen used to live. Many a time he tried to attack them, but whenever he came near, they turned their tails to one another so that whichever way he approached them, he was met by the horns of one of them. At last, however, they crawled among themselves and each went off to pasture alone in a separate corner of the field. Then the lion attacked one by one and soon made an end of all four.
Whoever remembers this old little fable knows its meaning. United we stand, divided we fall. I'd like you to keep this fable and its meaning in mind as I go through the video. This is a video in which I answer the question, what are my expectations for the future of society? And my answer is going to revolve around one word, unity. To decide what I expect from the future, I decided I should first come to a definition of future. And this is what I came up with. Future is much more than just a verb tense. Future is that thing that's always coming but never arrives. It's something naturally intangible, and yet we all feel its pressure over us. Future is based on hope, but definitely built on actions. And that's why it is most of all our responsibility. In an analogy, we are the oxen. We are society, a group, constantly threatened by different lions. And these lions present themselves in many different forms. Currently, we face a refugee crisis in which 65.5 million people were displaced worldwide only in 2017. We face poverty. 80% of the population of the world lives with less than $10 a day. We face hunger. 1 in every 7 people is hungry, and yet 1/3 of all food goes to waste. And we face climate change, which threatens all the living creatures on this planet, including humans. And to all those of you who think that these problems are just too far away from your reality, I present to you the Doomsday Clock. Developed in 1947 to express or to symbolize how close we are to the apocalypse, clock today marks 2 minutes to midnight at this very day in 2019. Just so you know, in 1963, plain Cold War, nuclear imminence, fear among the people, 1 year of the discoveries of the missiles in Cuba, the clock marked 12 minutes to midnight. Today, 56 years later, we're closer to destruction than we were at the peak of the Cold War. All of this brings me back to the message of the fable. United we stand, divided we fall. Only by cooperative measures are we able to overcome all these problems. If problems have global effects, they should have global approaches. One country alone cannot solve global warming, let alone one person. But I have to believe in our power as a world, our power as a species. We have developed the power to rule this planet. It's time we use it to save it. In conclusion, what I expect of the future of society is exactly that. Unity. A unity of strength and of efforts. A unity of vision, and most of all, a unity of people. Despite cultural, political, economic, or whatever differences, face of problems, we need to see the world as one. Because as I said before, future is our responsibility, and it comes by pretty fast, so don't blink.